Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Riana Arendse, spiritual teacher, healer, divine activator of truth, and initiator of the divine embodiment of your highest potential. Today's empowerment course or introduction to the course is about accelerating your journey, your path to inner union. And so when I refer to inner union, I'm referring to coming into complete harmony, balance, integration with oneself. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background as to what this entails and why this is so important, the aspect of coming into union with oneself. My journey has been a very, very intense journey inward. For most of my life, I was completely asleep, completely encapsulated in the dream state of the illusionary world of the matrix. And I needed to be placed in the most densest, lowest, heaviest frequencies in order for me to completely experience the polarities of this world, this dimension. And when the time was right, I had my awakening and then started doing my work to bring forth these sacred codes in awakening and helping others embody their true essence. Upon my journey of intense healing, 3 years after I had my awakening, I completely isolated myself because I was committed to my path. I had this willingness, a deep willingness to serve. And I decided that, you know what, I can no longer live a lie. I can no longer live a life that is not in alignment with my true essence. And so I took upon myself for 3 years to subjugate my conscious mind to a much higher truth, much higher wisdom. I committed myself to healing everything that was not in alignment with my truth, all of my personas, my accumulated limiting beliefs, my traumas, blockages, wounds, suppressed emotions, and through this accessing higher states of consciousness. Once I got to a point where I realized that all my energetic blockages were gone, I was still left with the same habitual thoughts, the same mind patterns, the same thought processes that I had previously had prior to my awakening. And I realized that healing my energetic blockages, yes, created space within me to allow the light of my consciousness, of my divine essence to come in, integrate, and embody fully. But if I was still thinking the same thoughts, having the same anxious mentality, if I was still having fearful thoughts, if I was still having certain subconscious beliefs that were still running my life, then I wasn't truly the embodiment of my full essence as source embodied in form. And I came to the realization that the entire ascension journey is truly about coming back home to self, to inner union, first and foremost. And in order to do that, yes, the first part, healing must take place. Because it is an unbecoming of everything that is not our truth, everything that is not truly who you are as a soul's essence. And I realized that the second part of this journey of coming fully into union, gaining access to even higher states of consciousness, to higher dimensions of wisdom and truth beyond the level of multidimensionality, even going straight to source, to the God within. I realized that I needed to master myself. I realized that I needed to change my habitual thoughts, patterns, behaviors that I would use on a daily basis. I couldn't think the way that I thought before. My mind, my behavior, my heart, my emotions all needed to be working harmoniously together. There was a disconnect between my feminine and my divine masculine. And this journey truly is about bringing those two aspects back into balance, into harmony once again. This program, which I'm presenting today, is a powerful program because I teach foundational processes, tools, knowledge that I've used on my journey to accelerate my path. And I'll tell you this, my journey was not a long one in terms of my awakening journey. I was very committed to my journey, very willing to completely surrender everything that was not me. I was not afraid to face my shadows. I would be so committed because I no longer wanted to feel entrapped. I wanted complete liberation. The truth to me was more important than any comfortability. And that takes, yes, a level of courage, a level of desire. I realized that all of the external manifestations, the attainments, the need to create abundance, have the relationship, have the career, have this, have that, was not bringing me to that moment of absolute inner peace. That no matter how much I attained on the outside, I was still searching, still longing for deeper understanding. and a deeper embodiment. And this led me down the path of self-mastery, where I consciously made the commitment every single day to choose different thoughts in order to have different experiences, to eradicate the old mindset, to eradicate subconscious limiting beliefs that were still running in the background, even though I had healed all my energetic blockages. Every day I was still thinking the same way that Riana would have thought 10 years ago. And it was not serving me because I was still unhappy. I was still feeling like I needed more, searching for more, needing to attain more. But what I was truly searching for was myself. And that is what we are all truly searching for. That is what the Ascension journey is truly about. It is truly about coming into wholeness and into union with yourself. You know, perhaps you find yourself constantly seeking out teachers or healers to help you heal a block or trauma or to manifest a desire. But there must be an inexplicable inner yearning still that you have for unity, for understanding. A calling almost to a higher purpose, but one is not fully sure how to access that higher purpose, higher calling. And so when we speak about inner union, you know, inner union is basically the longing for oneness that lies at the heart of the human experience. It is the everything, it is the nothing, it is the ultimate goal of the spiritual ascension path. It is the journey of emotional healing and spiritual growth through which we meet and unite the polarities of masculine and feminine that truly makes up the fabric of our lives. I've been on an accelerated journey of embodiment, and this is the journey to inner union. I want to speak a little bit about the program um, that I'm presenting today. It is a two-part program, um, and it encompasses both the healing aspect of the journey, as well as the self-mastery aspect of the journey. Um, and so there's a little bit of a background story here when it comes into play. So a few months ago, I had a near-death experience. I was completely ill. And that was when I was once again initiated into bringing through these sacred codes. But shortly after that, I got ill again. And I was faced with severe illnesses. It wasn't one specific illness, it was multiple illnesses all at the same time. And the doctors couldn't figure out what was happening with me. They couldn't figure out where all of these different illnesses were coming into play all at the same time. It was weird. It was not common. And so I remember laying in bed, physically ill, not knowing what this was about again. I had an inclination that, you know, maybe this is another initiation, another download that I needed to bring forward. And working with the Seraphim Collective and the Sophia Christ Collective, as well as the Octorian Council of Light. The Octorian Council of Light approached me during meditation and approached me and commissioned me to bring forward these 12 highly advanced, futuristic healing technologies. It's part of my lineage as part of the Octorian Council of Light. And these were downloaded to me. I was advised that these are very powerful codes, very intelligent codes. And what would happen is that I would experience, for example, high blood pressure. Just an example, high blood pressure out of nowhere. And that day I would receive the code. It's called the Azure codes. I would receive a code that would almost eradicate the high blood pressure or reset that specific energy center, that chakra point back to factory settings. And then I would sort of, my body would be used as a vessel to bring these codes through. So these codes were placed within my energetic field. I was given the illness, and then I was shown how the codes actually eliminates these illnesses from the root, no matter if it had an emotional or mental trauma, past life, genealogical, whatever it was. I was shown how it actually spins, how it works, and how it resets that center completely. And so I basically witnessed firsthand the miracle transformation that these codes are and which I now embody. This is an advanced technology, and it literally resets one's physical vessel and restores it back to its original blueprint. It changes the DNA expression in the highest level of consciousness, and it focuses on all planes of symptoms: mental, emotional, etheric, spiritual, physical, on a multidimensional level. And it provides the energetic field and components. As we see the symptoms on the physical level, it goes directly to the root cause of that physical ailment and completely lifts it up and out, completely restores it back. And so it literally rapidly shifted my ailments back and restored it back to its pristine blueprint. And it's like downloading immunity from the software of source. I want to share with you what these codes might look like once it is received within your field. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, where am I going? Okay, let's start. Here we go. Okay, so if you can see, so I mentioned there are 12 codes, right? The first code here is focused on the solar plexus. And this is focused on any fear or parasites that have entered and anchored within your energetic field. It's more of any foreign bodies that have been placed within the field coming from the outside, from the external. And so when these codes are received, what this specific code looks like. So this yellow here is the solar plexus. And when the code is received, there will be a blue triangle placed through the center of the solar plexus, going all the way up through the mid section or the across the center of the throat chakra. So it will encompass everything from the entire core area, your organs, your respiratory system. And as these energies are received, they begin to spin, they begin to move, and they dissolve within that solar plexus. Here's another one. And this is how I received it as it was placed within my energetic field. So the second one here is got to do with the root chakra. And this deals with any physical elements that are linked to blood circulation disorders, familial karma, ancestral residue, anything that is left within that area, within the root, any unfinished emotional residue, taking on emotional and mental constraints from your ancestry or family bloodline. And so this would be received, as you can see, the root is here. You have or receive 3 deep blue lines within that area, as well as 3 red diamonds at the below the feet. And so by the time that these dissolve completely, it's actually received quite quickly. Within a matter of minutes, it can completely dissolve. The codes are intelligent, so they know what to do for each and every individual, for each specific person. Once it's received, it does what it needs to do for you, and it will stop and complete the process for you when everything has been restored. All right. And you'll see as part of this azure code, towards the end, two tridents are also placed there. These tridents actually allows the densities to move out of your field. It directs it out of the body. We can look at azure code 3. This is focused on the heart chakra, specifically symptoms of respiratory disorders, asthma, breathing, any emotions in the heart, such as grief and anger and resentment, that are still sort of stuck within the heart center, the heart space. And this code that comes in, this azure code, will come in as 3 transparent crystals, 1, 2, and 3. It looks like aquamarine or a similar type of crystal. And then the 3 tridents here below are placed once again to direct the energy and the residue out of the body. And once it's completely dissolved within the heart, the process will be complete. Azure code 4, this focuses on the sacral chakra. Physical organs would include kidneys, detox organs, the womb, ailments such as fibromyalgia, anything to do with the prostate, any residue brought on by childhood trauma, sexual, emotional trauma, to the sacral area. And it also is used for clearing any detox issues within the body, kidney function, etc. And so this code is received, as we can see, the orange is the sacral. Once again, we receive the 3 aquamarine crystals placed within that area. Once this dissolves, it will be a bit different for male and female. So female will receive a pink lotus flower in the sacral area, and the males will receive an almost upside down deep green triangle in the sacral area. Once these dissolves, the process will be complete. And I'm seeing here also, yes, so there's a blue triangle also placed at the end. And this is to seal off the process, almost an allowing of full integration, completely sealing that energy center off. Azure code 5 is focused on the solar plexus. All right. And this is directed at the nervous system and any related issues linked to the solar plexus, like anxiety, any liver dysfunction, diabetes linked to the pancreas. And these are manifested through external taking on of identities or constructs from the family, from society, from the world. All right, so these are not in resonance with the core essence. This is not your true essence. This is not your God self. It's not your higher self. It's taken on, it's conditioned, it's brought on by external experiences, people, places, events. There are six white or silver blocks being placed in the solar plexus as the code is received. It's almost placed in a pyramid form, so 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block. And this will allow that all planes of your individual identity to come into alignment. The blocks will dissolve into the solar plexus, and that process will be complete. Azure code 6 is focused on the 3rd eye, the brow. Okay, and this assists in in your expression, in terms of expressing from your highest essence instead from the lower self. It helps to cultivate clear intuitive speech and voice, instead of filtering from the 3D approach from the lower bodies. And this releases any blocks um, that that might be lingering there, that allows the third eye to be sort of filtered and distorted. It allows for a clearer channel for intuitive guidance, for your intuitive guidance to come through in terms of your voice, in terms of your speaking, your writing, your expression. And so this is received by a deep blue triangle. So you'll see the dark blue on the top is the third eye, and then the light blue at the bottom is just referring to the throat, and then the deep blue triangle is placed there. Whilst this is dissolving, there are two waves, almost like a water element, so a wave on each side of the shoulder. This will direct the residue out of the body and clear it, allowing almost your third eye to be fully jump-started, fully reset, allowing your original circuit to be placed. The Azure Code 7 focuses on the heart chakra, which is the green here. And this is focused on removing any blockages linked to the self. So where there are levels of self-unacceptance, not accepting the self, unforgiveness, not forgiving the self, any self-hate, it comes back to the relationship with yourself. Anything that is not in alignment in terms of your relationship with yourself, this will be released and removed through this code. Self-hate, inner anger, lack of self-love, and this on a physical level is related to any heart organ function issues, if you have heart palpitations, low or high blood pressure, etc. And when the code is received, you will receive 3 yellow golden circles that are interlocked into each other. And this will allow all your bodies to come into a state of non-separation or non-fragmentation. These circles will then dissolve into the heart, and then there will be 3 deep blue triangles placed in the same position. And this will allow for full integration and completely being sealed off there. The 8th Azure code focuses on the crown chakra. This is the purple that you see here, the lavender, the purple. This is focused on your brain. So in terms of the physical ailments, it focuses on limitations that have manifested as strokes or neurological disorders, motor function disorders, brain disorders, etc. And this is used for clearing the debris of the mass collective, as well as your individual beliefs or limitations around reality. Almost, because you see most of these physical elements links to us, it links to a certain type of imbalance, almost a filter, almost an unclear blueprint, distortion. Because it could lead to strokes, motor neuron diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, schizophrenia, bipolar. And so we go in, this code comes in and completely removes the root cause of these physical ailments, all right? And so as the codes are coming in, there are 3 conducted tridents that are placed in a star position, as you can see, on the top, in the gold. And there are 6 ruby stones placed in between them. Once these are dissolved into the crown, an inverted upside down deep green triangle is placed to allow for complete sealing and integration. Once it's dissolved, the process is complete. Azure code 9 focused on the heart chakra with the green here. And this is removal of any residue from past loved ones in the physical plane, which might still be attached to the physical vessel, to your bodies. So it is the removal of residue that is not yours, but has attached to you from past loved ones, that has left it in the denser planes when they pass through to the higher planes. And this is all emotional, mental, and physical debris that was left unfinished or unaired or unprocessed. And this can manifest as all symptoms, emotions, thoughts, which belongs to that past loved one. And you can feel this a lot as heaviness in the heart, the shoulders, the neck. All right. And so when the code comes in here, it is received as 3 conducted tridents placed as a star equally over one another. And in between them are 6 pink reddish stones. It might be a rhodochrosite stones or similar. And this is to ground the unconditional love frequency within the heart space. It spins clockwise, very fast actually. And once it completely dissolves, the process is complete. The code 10 is focused on both the third eye, the brow, as well as the solar plexus. And so this is the removal of externally invoked identity constructs and characteristics. This is a master process, so you cannot receive this code unless you have completed the previous codes. This is the removing of all residue that is not yours, your core resonance, your core frequency around your identity, but has been taken on by you from the outside. So manifesting as a manufactured or false sense of self. And so it clears all that is not source aligned with your own core resonance frequency and your vessel in this lifetime. It's like restoring it to factory settings, basically. It's like flipping a switch, and the old can dissipate, can be removed because it's not in aligned with your source frequency. And so as this code is being received, a large yellow golden triangle is placed midway through the solar plexus, going all the way up to the brow. And this is dissolved. And once this is dissolved, the tridents are placed within the third eye area. And once these tridents are spinning and completely dissolved, the process will be complete. The last 2 master codes is the Azure code 11. This is focused on the throat, and this assists in clearing the throat center of any filters, 3D limiting filters of the small self, any blockages, any dense matter, which disallows the life force to move past the throat. So from my experience, when I see somebody's kundalini, life force energy flowing up, a lot of the time it actually gets blocked before the throat, and it goes back down. And so this will allow the life force energy to completely flow through and up. It addresses traumas around expression, hearing, your voice. It has to do with any physical ailments linked to cancers of the throat, esophagus, larynx, lymph nodes in the neck, and neck ailments such as the upper spinal cord. And when this code is received, there is a red diamond placed in the center of the throat and 3 silver conducted tridents. You won't be able to see it very clearly here, but there are 3 silver conducted tridents placed in a star shape once again. And this also moves clockwise, spins clockwise, and then dissolves within the throat center. The 12th master code is focused on complete sealing off and integration of your entire field and all the codes that you've received thus far, all the 12, all the 11 codes. And so in this process, as you receive the code, your aura will be completely expanded, and there will be 3 blue diamonds placed below the feet. There will also be a blue triangle, inverted triangle, placed um, from the top of the crown to the center of the solar plexus, and a red triangle placed from the center of the solar plexus to below the feet. And so these tips of these triangles completely overlaps, like it's becoming a diamond shape in the center of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is then surrounded in a pink hue or pink light of unconditional love, and these diamonds, triangles, and these light codes are then completely dissolved into your auric field. And that will seal off the entire azure code process and basically assist, on releasing very, very dense frequencies, emotions, traumas, physical ailments from your bodies. Then we move to the second part of the program, which is focused on self-mastery. Let me just share my screen once again. Here we go. Okay. The path of mastery to inner union, the next intake will start on the 2nd of July, and it is for 4 weeks. So it will be 4 live group calls. And yes, where I will share secrets and insights to what it takes to reach a level of self-mastery and come into union with self. You will receive additional healing, experience powerful processes and tools. You will receive an elevation of your consciousness to a higher octave, activations and initiations as well. But as you move through the process over 4 weeks, you'll find yourself overcome by wave of deep spiritual breakthroughs, culminating in a breathtaking state of peace, acceptance, clarity, and absolute power. So in this program, you will not just be integrating your higher self and reascending in this moment, but every version of you that has ever existed is also integrating its higher self. And I will mention this. In fact, that humanity has already reascended. It has already occurred. You already have reascended, beloved. So you are just making your way to that very moment in time that you already co-created. Okay, so just take a moment, take a breath now, just to allow these truths to come into the heart space now. Don't try and analyze it with the mind. Just receive it as it is, as a remembrance. The first week will focus on self-love. It's a self-love initiation. I will take you on a journey to embody a level of consciousness that you have not embodied before. You will be guided through a process of self-realization by bringing awareness to the divine truth that you are God, embodied in form, and an expression of the one source. And so we will do this first through a proclamation and then embodied through word, thought, and deed. We will focus also upon releasing self-criticism, self-judgment, and you will receive activations to embody more of your original source blueprint and crystalline light bodies, opening the gateway to embody divine compassion and divine love. We will focus on clearing out any distortion frequencies and reconnect with the crystalline universal body through the portal of cosmic divine intelligence, which I will open the container for, allow access for these beautiful frequencies and codes to come through you so that you can embody more of your truth, more of your essence. The next group call is focused on inner union and balancing of the divine masculine and divine feminine. Your ascension process is the experience of all aspects of you within your God self, evolving and integrating back into source. So here I will be guiding you to bringing both masculine and feminine energies into balance, into harmony, into inner union. We will travel into the depths of our Christed hearts through the divine cosmic portal And we will retrieve, we will clear, integrate, and harmonize all aspects, all fractured aspects of ourselves, allowing us to activate and embody greater aspects of our crystalline DNA and blueprint. This will allow us to disengage from false archetypes and personas and reconnect significant pathways between the heart and the higher mind. The third live group call will be focused on taking responsibility for your creations, moving from victimhood to conscious creator. Now, this was a very important aspect for me on my journey, relating to all of the traumas and the darkness that I experienced since a very, very, very young age. I completely needed to move out of things were happening to me and move into a state of things are happening for me. I truly needed to take my power back in this regard. And I could do this. And once I did this, I was able to access a power within myself that I had never known before. And so this group call is a focus on the releasing of any disentanglements of victimhood and shifting into conscious creator, really taking responsibility for our creations, because this is an important step. And this will allow you to ascend to greater heights of awareness, transparency, and mastery. I will also do a soul star and earth star activation. The soul star is where you make the connection with all that your higher realms has for you. It is where the very soul frequencies that will liberate your innate abilities are stored. And so in this activation, you will feel the cosmic light coming in to open you and help you access a higher state of consciousness, a higher truth, clarity, and wisdom. The fourth live group call is focused on the art of self-mastery, and this is an initiation. So for some of you that might have worked with me before, you are quite familiar with the initiations that I bring forward. A lot of what I do is initiating people into the next level that they are ready for, the next phase of the ascension journey. And so this will be an initiation coming through directly from your God self, and it will be specific for each of you depending on how much you are received to how much you are allowed to receive at that moment in time. So the art of self-awareness, self-mastery is an important key because it is foundational to our ascension. And here I will share important foundational teachings that will bring you into a greater awareness, allowing you to easily master the self on a day-to-day basis. I will also facilitate a full body reboot, which will allow your system to come into full resonance with the highest potential available for you as you anchor even deeper into what is awakening within you right now. All right. I hope that all makes sense. I am so excited to facilitate this course. It is truly a combination of both healing and self-mastery. And the intention of this program is truly to bring you and us into harmony with ourselves, into a state where we are completely liberated within. When we start to shift everything into alignment within, bringing it back to its core frequency at the highest level, your external reality will begin to shape in ways that it has never done before. It will begin to project a new reality, a new world, a new life. It will begin to project your new higher level of consciousness, self-acceptance. Beloveds, it is an honor for me to present this course. And if you are called to doing this course in any way, shape, or form, if you feel that intuitive nudge, know that it is for you. Know that this is the next step of your evolutionary path, your next step to accelerating your path towards inner union. Finally closing the gaps that has kept you separate from where you are and where you want to be. So for many of us, we always stand on the outside and we look at other people beginning to step into their power, into their light, and we sometimes tend to think that maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe this magic is only meant for others. This program is to show you that this magic can be easily accessed when we make a conscious decision to unbecome and fully commit to ourselves and our path. And I will show you exactly how I did it. And as I channel the divine source through me and bring through these sacred codes of activation and initiations, it will allow you to begin to experience your innate nature on a much deeper level than ever before. So right now, I would like to just do a brief, not a short energetic transmission. I'm going to, okay, I'm being guided to do an azure code healing, but it's not one of the codes that is in the program. It's an additional code that I'm receiving or have received. And it's specifically for you. So this is more of an individual code or energetic transmission. And it's going to work on a specific issue for you based on and under the direction of your higher self. So this could be anything from physical ailments to abundance to relationships to career to gifts and abilities. Whatever that um, portal is wanting to bring forward for you now, this is going to be an activation and an energetic transmission of that. So it's a personalized code that I will be transmitting now. I will not be speaking because the energies are quite intelligent. This is quite different for me because I'm usually one that facilitates and speaks and allows these frequencies to come through my voice. But right now, I'm going to allow these frequencies to come through my being, my presence, and holding the container and space for us to be in communion with one another now. Beloveds, you can look directly into my eyes, or you can close your eyes, whatever feels more comfortable for you now. And I will begin this short energetic transmission now. You each will receive a code now that's being facilitated and received through the top of your crown now, opening up the star portals, the soul star chakra above your crowns now to receive these specific sacred codes that you are ready to receive now. Allow, beloved, let go and receive. As much as you could receive, you have, beloved. The process is now complete. I thank you for joining me. I am honored to be present with all of you in this sacred container of love that we have created today. I look forward to working with all of you, and I'm sending you so much love. Absolute blessing. Until next time. Bye-bye.